Hey everybody, it's Reilee.
And it's Kiara.
Just want to pop in for a quick second to say we see everything that's going on in the world. Take a quick second to check out the links in our description to help out those that are in need, and enjoy the show. Hi everyone.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming back to 6 Songs 4.
This is your new favorite music recommendation podcast. Bop, 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 bop,
Yeah,
bop.
yeah, yeah. And this week, we're going to be talking about 6 songs for airports. And I have a lot to say about that. But first, we're going to get into our diva of the week. This week's diva is Ariana Grande. And we actually recorded an entire episode where we debriefed her. And that episode is lost. It's cursed. It's pour one out for her. We'll probably do the topic again, but
The,
maybe
the,
for like
the stars have
maybe
not
for like a
aligned.
spoof. Yeah, no. Maybe for like a spoof, we'll release the footage. But
Do we
that
still
was
have it?
cursed. Yeah,
That's so
it's in the system.
Oh, dear. It's in the
It exists.
it's in the filing cabinet.
But it would have been a bitch to edit it because everything went wrong. Audio, video issues, video issues.
I think we changed camera. You changed camera like 3 times or something.
It was a lot.
It was crazy.
And I pushed through because I really that was a really good episode, but unfortunately we're gonna have to do it again. But that Ariana was the diva for that. We're redoing the diva. It's been enough time since that happened where I think it'll be fine.
The wound has healed.
Also, this is coming out when I'm sure the Wicked press has ramped up. I personally cannot wait for the press to ramp up.
I
I am
can't wait for her
obsessed.
to not be fucking blonde again.
Oh my god. Well, that's not going to happen for a while.
Oh God.
Wicked, she's blonde, so that's the whole point. I personally love it, but that's all I'm gonna say. I personally love it. But I actually am reading Wicked right now. The book's over there somewhere. But it's crazy. It's pretty good. I'm not gonna front. Like, I've seen the show actually, but it's been a while. So it's been like I saw it like sophomore year, freshman year of college. So it was probably like 7 or 6 years ago. But the movie is based on the book, by the way, everyone. So that's why it's been split up into 2 movies because the book is really long. It's like almost 500 pages.
So there's a book, a play, and a movie.
The book was first, the play was second, the movie's third.
The play and the movie are not the same?
No. Wicked is like on Broadway right now and has been for the past 20 years. But the book was written. Yeah, no, it's like a lot. The book was written in the 90s, like the late 90s, and then the play I think early 2000s, and then the movie has been in development for like decades, but it just got made like a few years ago. And uh the movie, everyone thinks the movie is based on the musical, the stage musical, but it's actually based on the book. And so there's going to be like things in it that people who have seen the play but have not read the book won't or know. Anyways, all that to say, I just wanted to get that out because I don't really think there's not much to say about Wicked yet because we're recording this before the press tour is happening. Okay, so Arianka. So this is my girl. This is top 5 for me. She raised me. She's one of my mothers. I consider her, in terms of my love, on the same level as Beyonce. Like, I will do anything for this girl.
Wow.
And no, she's kind of, her and Haim are like the white girls for me. Like, we're locked in for life. It have been. So I found out about her obviously through Victorious, but like I've been here since Victorious. Like, I never left. So when I was like 12, 13, she released her first song that wasn't with Victorious, Put Your Hearts Up. I was putting my hearts up. Okay?
You were there.
I was there, like in the flesh. She was orange. That hair dye was still out. She was outgrowing it. She was in the process of dyeing it brown again, but not quite. And she had that ugly is that called chiffon? Ugly dress, ugly pink high low dress, but she was singing down, and to this day I can tell you every frame of that video. That's how you know you're a star.
Word. I know that this is her first song, but I don't think I know what it sounds like.
She said, "Can't resurrect Gandhi, can't resurrect King, but if we put our heads together, we can do anything." Like,
It's giving there's got to be a way to unite this world today.
she was literally like, this was her "Let's Heal the World" vibe. This literally samples "What's Up" by Three Non Blondes. First time I heard the sample, I will admit that. I literally have a memory of, I think it was in Stagecraft actually. I think Miss House was playing, or somebody was playing "What's Up," and I literally remember thinking, "Oh my god, this is the song from Put Your Hearts Up." Until that moment, I thought that that was Arianka's melody. I sure
Word.
did. So that is my Arianator hate that her fans were ever called that. That was my ponytail. I call them ponytails. That's my card. But the first album, lead single "The Way," I mean, we all know where we were.
Yeah.
At least I do. This album, to me, like, changed a generation. And maybe that was just me, but like, this album is so good, and it's so good that I think it's important because it literally, like, Arianka is one of the main players. Like, she's one of the girls. Like, let's not, whether you like her or not, she is a main pop star. And this first album laid the groundwork for that, but I feel like people don't even really know that. Like, if you were there, you were there. Like, black girls who were there, I just hung out with somebody yesterday and we were like, yours truly will always be that girl. And
I
she was
agree.
just always singing down. From the jump, the girl was singing and making good music. And that's, I don't give a fuck what y'all say about the girl. She was just doing that. Who else is getting Mariah Carey comparisons, first single, first album?
I could name anybody after her that even is remotely close. I guess Tori Kelly, kind of, but like,
Sure. But no, yours truly, favorites off this album. Mind you, y'all, I am not looking at any else. This is off the dome. This is how much I know about the bitch. Favorites off this album: Daydreaming, Honeymoon Avenue, You'll Never Know. Probably, well, I was so glad. So on the Sweetener tour, Arianka was playing songs from every album. She hadn't really done that in a while. And the only song she played from yours truly was You'll Never Know. And I was like, that's real as fuck.
this has
Cause,
this is crazy. This is like 4 classic songs in my opinion on this song.
and in my opinion, a couple more. Um, Also, very important to note on this album, she has Popular Song, which is literally just, I would say, almost, it was a sample, let's just say a sample of Popular from Wicked. First album. The bitch has been campaigning, y'all. Because a lot of people, I've talked to people who are like not convinced that she's going to do a good job. I don't know if this movie is going to be good. What I do know is that Ariana Grande will not be a part of the reason why it's bad. And that's, I can confidently say that because this bitch literally met Kristen Chenoweth as a child. Like, she, like, her mom either paid for it or she won or something. She got to see Wicked when Kristen Chenoweth was Glinda and met her. And I think in that moment, Kristen Chenoweth saw that little girl and knew she was going to be the next Glinda. But but also, Ariana Grande is a theater kid first. I think everyone doesn't understand that. This bitch has been campaigning to be in this movie since she got any sort of notoriety. Like, like, while after Victorious, when she's like just a singer now, she gets whiff that they're making this Wicked movie, and she literally is talking to every, and I'm saying this because she said this in interviews, like, she literally is talking to like every person even remotely associated with this movie to try and even get an audition. Like, she was just like, let me audition. And for a long time, she couldn't get no audition because people didn't think they just thought, she's the pop girl, right? But she was literally on Broadway when she was 13 in the fucking show 13. Like, the girl has been the girl, right? And I think it's important to note, theater kids are, if anything, determined. I'll give them that. Okay? This bitch, as she gets more popular, she gets her foot in the door more. She auditioned 5 times, y'all. They made the girl audition 5 times. We all know she can sing, okay? We all know she can sing. And let's not act like she can't act either. Miss Girl can act. She didn't get to do it for a while because she became, Miss Ponytail, but she can act. We all know her from acting. And literally the director of the film said, "I did not want to believe that Ariana Grande was the best choice because she's Ariana Grande." Like it, it just if he felt like it was logically there had to be another option, but she was the best one. And it pisses me off when people are like, "That's so random." Like, no, she has been campaigning to be Glinda since her first album. Popular song. Y'all, you weren't there. That's how they not know. And yeah,
Babyface, the babyface
yeah.
of it all. Can we discuss how literally your debut album is produced by fucking Babyface? One of the
And
most
Leon Thomas from
one of the
Victorious.
most legendary songwriters to ever songwrite, like since the 80s. That's why this first album, it feels so sophisticated. It feels so
Yeah,
R&B is because Kenneth fucking Babyface Edmonds was like the executive producer, which is insane.
exactly. Which is insane
Honeymoon
because I
Avenue, Baby I, right there. That's an insane first debut
right.
album 3-track run. Like that's crazy.
Honeymoon Avenue alone, a 5 minute fucking
The
banger
strings,
ballad, babe. Mind you, she's singing her ass off, and I think it's like the black people had co-signed her so early. That's how I knew. Like I like she had no other option but to be the girl. The black girls around her were on board, y'all. Like between Leon Thomas, between Babyface, between Victoria Monet, like the reason why, and I have to talk about this too, because we're about to get into Arianka in a second, but we have to move on. My Everything, the black people are still here. One of my favorite songs by her is featuring Childish Gambino. You know that song, "Break Your Heart Right Back."
I do know Break Your Heart Back. This is from My
That
Everything.
song, yes, that song is so funny to me, and it has always been funny to me because it's if you don't know the song, it's literally about her finding like some guy broke up with her because he's gay, or she found out about the fact that he's gay or something, and she samples "I'm Coming Out" by Diana Ross, which is so messy, first of all, and at the end she goes, "He's coming out." She's so irritated for that. That's so funny. I don't even know. Like, I want to know the story if there even was a story, if somebody else wrote this song. But I just think the entire song makes me laugh. And then Childish Gambino's part, "Yes, I'm a G from the A," and they ask why. Like, it was very, yeah. But this album is when I think she became Ariana Grande.
Yeah, there was a conscious it's not
Shift.
there's no T at the end of that word. There was a conscious poppening of the sound instead of like the heavy R&B influences that we know
Mm-hmm.
and love her for. And I feel like honestly a lot of people kind of beg for her to harken back to. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
times I feel like because the pop hits were so boom boom back to back to back, it feels like even on this album it feels like there were at least, excuse me, 3 songs that were completely inescapable. So to go from like R&B Honeymoon Avenue, Baby I, which is super 90s R&B, to basically like hard EDM with Break Free, like extreme like mainstream pop with Problem. Like you can tell that the budget increased because she was gunning to be a pop girl instead of an R&B girl. And
Yeah.
unfortunately the budget is not as high for R&B. So this is definitely when she became a star.
Which is reminiscent of who class? Mariah Carey. That's another reason why they were comparing her to her because she kind of had a similar career trajectory just in terms of the music. Like having like a first album that's like less poppy and then changing to be like the pop diva and having to find her way back to R&B and like more soulful.
Mm.
It's interesting. Um but yeah, so this album, Break Free, Problem, One Last Time, mega smash, mega hits. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the part when I say I don't want to actually.
Boom.
this is the part where I break free because I can't resist it no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was gospel. God was in the room with Max Martin that day. I'm serious. Like, but now she makes it the gay song, at least on the Sweetener tour. That was yeah.
The gays do go hard for that song.
And it's incredible. It's one of my favorite songs of all time, and also of hers.
Every time I think of Break Free, I think of Jade and Dior Fierce in season 7 of RuPaul's Drag Race. So definitely gay.
Also, girl, now that I'm looking at the track list, Love Me Harder, mega smash.
Now that I'm looking at the track list.
That was just off the dome. Bang Bang, girl.
Inescapable.
I still hear Bang Bang.
And honestly, I still like it. I got it the first time, and I think that it's just a solid song. Like
it really was.
The worst thing about it is the fucking single cover, but you know.
Also, her and these damn stools. Can we talk about it? How the fuck did you ever see that challenge on TikTok where people are trying to sit in the stool like she sat on in My Everything cover? Because how did she get both of her legs on that small stool? She was itty bitty.
She's teeny tiny, isn't she?
Yeah, she's small.
Yeah.
And she's like super skinny and she's so cute. But yeah, Break Free, I feel like My Everything propelled her into like a stratosphere. What's crazy to me is that Sam and Cat did not end until, let's see, I'm not going to get this wrong, until 2013. Or no, my bad, sorry. 2014. Which means
the same
that
year that this album came out. That's crazy.
Yeah, I did not realize that she had still been on Sam and Cat when all these songs were happening. Like, I found that out way after the fact, and I was like, "What?" I had no idea, like, at all. And it's crazy to me that her acting career lasted that long.
And honestly, I think that explains if we are moving on to the next album. I think that explains sort of the super sexy route that she took on Dangerous Woman, because a lot of the image of her was still the Nickelodeon red hair girl. So like side to side,
Hello,
girl. To this was not the first single, but this was like a single, correct?
yeah.
Like they performed. I remember them performing this at the VMAs with the bikes, and I'm like, this is a crazy song for someone who 2 years ago was technically a child star, but even then, like, was she a child at that point? More than likely
No,
not. So it's like
but on a
you gotta
child
let
network.
the girls grow up, and I think that
Yeah,
this album marks that for her.
this is her bangers. LOL.
Oh,
Just kidding.
God.
No, it's not. No, that's what I guess this would be her. I can't be tamed.
When did the blackening start?
For Miley or Ariana?
No, Ariana. Like when did she start painting
Um,
herself like dark?
I would say here.
Word. So we
I
definitely
would
get
say here because the Into You video, that's a black queen right there, and side to side. Even I think this was when the blackening started.
word. As a whole, this album, I'm not as
Me
I
either.
haven't ran this one back as much as I've. This is not my favorite Ariana Grande album, but Be Alright, Into You, and Side to Side, crazy 3-track one for me.
No, yeah, no. The thing is, this album is good, not great. I feel personally. Sorry, I don't give a fuck. I can say whatever the fuck I want. I've listened to all these albums so many times. Moonlight is a beautiful song. The song Dangerous Woman, I don't really go back to, but when it comes on, I do like it, if that makes sense. Um,
It's a
but
song that I find myself singing a lot because
mm,
it just fits in so many situations.
underrated, Let Me Love You featuring Lil Wayne. Love that song. I just broke away with my ex. Nobody's single and I'm sex. Yeah, because she was collabing with all the black girls. Yeah, Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, Future. He give it to me every day, every day. He give it to me every day. And that's probably why I don't know. This album. La, 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 la. But the thing is, y'all can never say she wasn't singing. Like, none of the songs are bad. Actually, you know what? Most of the songs on this album are really good, I would actually say. But they're just not my favorites, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
because I don't hate any of these songs. But 2016 is like I was there. Like I remember when Dangerous Woman came out and being gagged, like being like, "Oh my gosh, she's being sexy." That video of her singing the entire thing a cappella wearing the fucking bunny mask changed everything for me. Like, what do
I
you mean?
remember
Like,
that.
listen to her sing. I think I appreciate this era for what it did for her career. Like, I feel like it made people take her seriously for some reason.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier how the Nickelodeon image was still definitely on her, so her being much more sexy was a conscious choice, and it definitely shifted the rest of her career. Like pretty much post this album, we're not really seeing Cat Valentine anymore. We're seeing
No, yeah,
Ariana Grande for sure.
yeah. And then, she takes the break. She's on tour on the Dangerous Woman tour for a while. Then the Manchester attacks happen at her concerts. And I think that was a turning
So
point in
sad.
her life.
So sad to wait. What was the tweet? So sad to know that others were dying at the Ariana concert while I was living. Have you seen that Naomi Smalls tweet? I live. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to send
What
you.
the fuck? I'm crying.
This is
No.
not necessarily completely a tangent, but Naomi Smalls. I think she tweeted, "So
I'm
sad
telling
to know
you.
that others were dying at the Ariana concert while I was living." Like, and living was like in caps, and it's just like, girl, I live.
Why did she do
I live.
Oh no. So sad to think I was living at the Ariana concert.
Yes,
Why did she say that?
I love it.
Oh, that's really funny. I cannot believe she said that. Oh my god. Well, anyways, it was a very sad thing. That was the day of my high school graduation. I will never forget it as long as I
No worries.
live. Because I remember waking up, seeing it on the news, and literally being like, "What happened? Where? To who? My mother?" Like, no, like it was serious. Like, yeah. Um, so that happened, and I think it was a turning point in her life and her career. Then she had the Manchester concert, which was really sweet, and like I'm glad she did that for Manchester, and also just like the videos from that performance are incredible. This is Dangerous Woman is when she starts doing the oversized.
Dangerously in love.
I'm glad you did that actually, because I noticed that Ariana has kind of never really said anything about Beyonce. And vice versa. And I think it's really interesting. Like at this point in time, like Ariana Grande is big enough to where like if Beyonce liked her music, she would say I like Ariana Grande's music, but she's never acknowledged like they've never even really been in each other's like spheres. And I think that's really interesting
Well,
because
Rim on Sweetener.
yeah, but I don't think that was like Pharrell having the demo and being like, "Do you want?" Like, I guess we'll never know what she said about that in response to it, but I think in terms of outwardly being showing any sort of praise for Beyonce, I just can't think of any examples, which I think is really interesting. But I'm glad you mentioned that because then we get 2017, her magnum opus, her best album, Sweetener. This album means so much to me. First of all, it was released on my birthday. So catch it, everyone. Uh she made that for me. Um my 19th birthday, yeah. Do you know that I was not prepared for what that album was going to be based on that intro? Like literally we go from that to fucking Blazed, like the fucking roller coaster of emotions from hearing this album for the first time and being like every song was amazing. I mean, obviously we had No Tears Left to Cry, but which Motherquake Central.
Now, if there was ever a period of time where I was like on the Ariana train, it
Mhm.
was when this bitch was upside down on them goddamn stairs. And I heard that motherfucking 3-part harmony echoing in
Babe,
my goddamn ears. And I said, oh, whatever's coming, I know that this will be the one for me. I knew it
yeah.
then. And ever since,
Yeah.
Sweetener's been my favorite Ariana album.
It pisses me off because she didn't put that in the studio version. Like to this day, when we get to 2028 and she releases the 10-year anniversary edition, mama, no one's gonna be mad if you add that back in. No one's
Well,
gonna be mad.
it's in the end, but like just as like that part alone, and
No, I'm talking about in the intro, like in the how the music video has it before the right now. Yeah, I need that every time I click play, and it really irritates the fuck out of me that I don't.
mostly
This
Pharrell has a lot of production credits on this album, so it is going to be weird as fuck. Puss in Boots decides to do strange things a lot of
Puss in
times.
Boots.
Puss in Boots, God, that fucking Azealia Banks fucking posted a picture of him in like the Chanel ad, and this nigga's in this like green sweater with these fucking mid calf fucking horsing boots on. And this bitch posted that shit and said, "Puss in Boots." And ever since that day, Pharrell been Puss in Boots to me.
OMG. LOL.
But
Okay, I
yeah,
like it.
he like blazed weird ass song. The light is
It did
coming.
though.
For the longest time, I didn't get it. For the longest time, I didn't
And
get it.
I literally beat it into you that it was a good
I
song, and I
literally didn't get it for the longest time, and I was like, okay, I get it. I get it one day.
baby, it hit me one day in the shower. I remember where I was during COVID. Well, no, that's not true. That's not even true. But like it in that moment, it hit me how good of a song it was. I always liked the song, but because I remember this is for real, girls. She had previewed the song at like some concert, like one-off concert that she did. She previewed like the first probably like 30 seconds of the song, and me and my friend Leah, for those of you who know Leah, were obsessed with it, and we literally with that one clip. And so when the song came out and it had fucking Nicki Minaj on it, okay, that is to this day, I think her last good song,
Who?
Nicki Minaj.
Oh God.
Or
I
good verse at least.
I I'm gonna disagree, but yeah.
Sips tea and it's unsweet. Respect bad gal when me done speak. Now.
There are songs I like to Pink Friday too, so I can't even sit here and
Oh,
say it.
I could not say the same.
You didn't like a single
Anyway.
song on Pink Friday too? Tonight I'm going to spend like it's your special day. I'm we're
No,
gonna
I did not.
celebrate. What?
Everybody was cute,
Pink
but I
birthday
know
goes crazy. Are you crazy? Okay.
no.
What
Anyways,
the Nikki debrief we'll have to talk about that.
Jesus Christ. A week of mania.
We're gonna have to do a Nikki debrief eventually. Like we can't avoid it forever. And Pink Friday 2 is cute. It's not Pink Friday
This is
1.
not her day. We're talking about Ariana. Ariana, what are you doing here? Which was funny. I don't really know where they stand in terms of being friends. I don't think she likes her anymore because she posted a picture of Megan. So we'll see how that plays out. Sweetener. Yeah, Sweetener, top to bottom, Get Well Soon is about the Manchester attacks, and people think that there's 53 seconds of silence for the 53 people that passed away, which I would think so. And Borderline, Missy Elliott, hello. My
Successful sounds like a
Chuck E. Cheese,
Nintendo Wii fucking
but it's amazing. Breathing, I always say I don't like that song, and then it comes on and I'm like,
Region's one of her best songs.
sunrise. I think it's, you know what it is. I think I don't like the video.
I don't know the video.
It was unmemorable.
Where?
The worst thing about Sweetener is that the era lasted 5 seconds.
Ooh.
I hope to God I'm never that down bad. The album was turned in. She turned in the album and she said, actually, no, I need to write a song about Pete Davidson. That's when I knew. That's when I said everything they say about him is true. That dick has to be Girth Master.
Oh Christ almighty.
Literally, universe must have my back, fell from the sky into my lap, and I know you know that you're my soulmate and all that. I'm like, ooh, like you have to be so gone. The song is literally like a minute long, and she said, no, but I have to put this on there where it's going to be on my album forever. And then they broke up not too long. Like that's as we know, Mac Miller passed away unfortunately. I think it was like 3 months into Sweetener being out, or like very it was like
Not
it was
far
near.
into its release.
Yeah. Um I remember everyone blaming her. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. Everyone blamed Ariana Grande for his death for something that she wasn't even there for, much less had anything to do with.
I do remember that.
That was crazy. That's when I was like, "Oh, you bitches are actually like nurse, they're out again." Like, what? You think it's Ariana Grande's fault because she had broken up with him like months prior to that? That's the first time I had to really be like, "Y'all, Ariana, get behind me, cause it's about to get ugly." That was really the first time I feel like the public turned on her in a really real way. It's the fucking donut shit was stupid. Like I feel like people who like got some sense didn't really give a fuck about that. But like this was the first time that like I actually
Did
saw it
she
with
end
my
up buying
own
that
eyes.
donut?
I don't fucking know.
Because then I still have a problem with it if she didn't buy the donut.
I don't think she did. I think that was the problem. I think she just licked it. And I do think that was bad. I think that was disgusting and she should not have done that. But I don't but like I feel like people for her, I think that was a lot. But anyway, back to what I was saying. She did not kill Mac Miller, y'all. That was fucking crazy of the people who blamed her for that.
Yeah, it's
Like that was insane.
misogyny.
Yeah, she has been a subject to so much misogyny. So he dies. She's obviously depressed. She's recently engaged to P. Davidson. They were together for a little longer after that, but slowly broke up. And she's like hella depressed, and so she goes to the studio for 2 weeks with Victoria Monet, writes the entirety of Thank You Next. Um, and she's like, I know this is crazy. I just released an album, but here's well, first she had released Imagine, remember?
I don't necessarily remember like the rollout of this.
So it was actually Imagine was first, and then she was teasing that she was back in the studio with Needy. And I think that like these songs, she wasn't planning on like releasing them. I think she wait, let me stop. So she had written Needy like before she wrote the most of the album. So she had written Needy, and then she released Imagine. Then she goes in the studio with Victoria for 2 weeks and is like super depressed and like writing all these songs. And then that became Thank You Next. She releases Thank You Next, the song and the video, which changed the world, I think. But that's and then Seven Rings, which I couldn't save her for that. I couldn't save her. This was the peak of Arianka, I think. Arianka being her black era. Was I living? Absolutely. Do I want her to do it again? Absolutely. But
I don't even like this song. I didn't like the song when it came out.
Seven Rings,
No.
that's fine. I don't think it's her best song. Is it a little bop? Sure. But I think all the hate she got for that, I'm not gonna say like she kind of deserved it. I just hate that. But she had been black for a while, y'all. Like, I'm sorry. That's what always pisses me off when people get mad about white girls being like 10. I'm like, y'all, if you were paying attention, y'all should have been saying this
People might
for fucking
people might have been saying it.
but not to the magnitude because Seven Rings, I mean, everyone,
Well, yeah, but things are never always the same amount of popular.
But long story short, thank you next. The era I think is still her biggest era. Like I think that was like her peak, if we want to say that,
Like commercially.
because it was mega, like mega, mega, mega. You cannot escape almost all of the songs on this fucking album. For in terms of the music, I think
That's so weird because I feel like for me this album came and went. I remember Seven Rings and I remember
mhm.
Thank You Next and Break Up with Your Girlfriend, and it was kind of it for me.
No, I don't know. Maybe it was just in New York, but like I would literally walk out of my house hearing "Breathing." I would literally walk out of my house hearing "Break Up with Your Girlfriend." Like it was everywhere, at least in my orbit, and like not even me playing it. Like friends who never even cared about her being like, "I really like this album." Like It was mega. It was mega, mega. I mean, she got nominated for the album of the year, but she didn't win. That was Billie Eilish. This album was huge. It just was. I think some of her saddest lyrics are on this album. Well, no, yeah, some of her saddest music. I mean, literally saying that you wish Mac Miller was here instead of Pete Davidson is crazy work. It's crazy work. And
Grief is strange.
yeah, that was, I could not believe she put that out, I can understand feeling it, but I was like, wow, she meant that shit. Um, I always wonder what their relationship would have looked like if he didn't pass away, though. Like, I honestly do feel like it probably would have had the same trajectory. I don't know if I ever believed that they were going to stay together forever, but
I sort of felt like they had a connection, but I was a Mac Miller fan, and so like,
oh no, I'm talking about Pete Davidson.
oh, Pete Davidson. Oh, okay, where? Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
don't.
sorry.
But his album, The Divine Feminine, that was released, I believe, in 2016, at like the height of their time
Hmm.
together, is a really beautiful album. And her song, she has a song on there called "My Favorite Part."
Oh yeah,
One
and
of
she,
my
yeah.
one of my favorite Ariana Grande performances ever. So it's really
Yeah,
unfortunate
period.
that he passed away, and there is like a string of grief throughout the entirety of this sort of period in her career.
Oh my god, yeah. This, I mean, I don't know the woman obviously, but like I couldn't imagine a more traumatic experience. Him dying and then everyone blaming you for him dying, and then also having to deal with the fact that you weren't together with this man and you're actually currently with someone else who you were engaged to publicly. Like that's a lot. That's a lot. And I don't give a fuck what anyone ever says. Like I will never forgive the people who kicked her while she was down in that moment. Like that is insane to me. Her and Pete end up breaking up. She goes on the Sweetener slash Thank You Next tour, otherwise known as the Stun tour.
Is that
Um,
actually what it was called?
yeah, because I mean they literally happened back to back, and I always get sad. I'm like, damn, Sweetener was really like gonna be mega, what mega? Well, let's let the record show she got the Grammy for pop album, best pop album for Sweetener. Thank you very much. She did not win anything, I don't think, for Thank You Next. So that's all I have to say. The better album won, no shade. But Thank You Next has incredible songs. I mean, In My Head, Bad Idea is a really standout. I need her to get into her like her rock bag a little bit. Uh NASA, like this was girl, this y'all know the damn songs. Then COVID happens. She's she has broken off her engagement to Pete Davidson. She has since gotten into a new relationship with a real estate agent named Dalton Gomez. She has since gotten engaged and married to this man. Had a beautiful Vogue magazine spread, cute little Vera Wang dress, rights positions. This is your girl, right? You like my hair? Or no, is it nasty? Which one do you like?
This album is not my girl, but I do like My Hair and I do like Nasty. As an album for me, the quality of her albums dipped after Sweetener for me. So a lot of these songs are kind of hit or miss, but like a few songs on this album. Well, but I like Positions definitely better than Thank You Next.
Fair. I think that's a fair assessment. I'm definitely just now coming around to it. I initial first listen I liked it and then I did not return to it because I thought it was kind of boring. And you know what it is? I think I just like didn't care about Dalton. Like I didn't want to hear songs about him. I don't know, but I just always did not feel like that was gonna happen, like or like work out. Cause like, yeah, I don't know. I just never felt connected to this album and I always felt found it strange or like a weird feeling for her singing love songs this soon again. Like I always was just kind of like this album felt like her doing what she had to do, whether what because it was also written. I think the interesting thing, Thank You Next, and I'm pretty sure Positions were written very quickly. Um,
Sounds like it
and
to
yeah, I
me.
think you can tell. And I think there are some gems. I do think Safety Net is a beautiful song. She's still the thing is she's singing down on all of the songs. It's just like the actual songs, but I think for what they are, I'm able to appreciate positions for what it is a lot more now because she has come back around to a more polished sound, in my opinion.
Call me crazy, but it feels like she, in terms of like music, is like aging backwards. Like she started super sophisticated with this super
Mm,
like complex kind of R&B groove, and now it's sort of like youth. I feel like it's more youthful poppy in a weird way. I don't know. No, should develop that thought more, but I feel like
I understand. I think what you mean.
there's like a sophistication that's lost as her career progressed, and like musically, not in terms of like her personally or whatever, but like
Yeah, I actually understand that. I think it's part of it being like because her teenage years were for the most part Nickelodeon. Um, this is in a way is her figuring herself out, for lack of a better phrase. Like I think emotionally she's going through a lot, physically she's going through a lot, personally in her life. Like I think there was just a lot of change. And so it's interesting that you say that because I think you're kind of right. Like I can see what you mean by that. It seems to be about one thing, I think. Um then positions happens and then we don't really hear from her because she didn't tour it, still hasn't and probably won't. She didn't tour it. She's married for like I think 2 years, 1 or 2 years. She gets casted in Wicked. This is the change, I think. I genuinely believe that the downfall of their marriage started when she got cast in Wicked because she had to go to London. She had to live there because they filmed it in London. And you can kind of put the pieces together in the album in Eternal Sunshine. But and if I had to figure out what happened in my own terms, this is what I think happened. They were married. It was good. It was very honeymoon stage. They were on honeymoon avenue, babe. Then she got casted in Wicked. She leaves for like a good majority of the year, probably. He I don't think he cheated on her, but I think maybe he did. It was probably like an emotional cheating, if anything. Then she's filming Wicked. She's feeling emotionally disconnected from Dalton. At the same time, she is filming Wicked, having the best time of her life. This is literally her entire life's goal, and I'm actually worried for her when it's over because, like I said, she has wanted this for so long. Um, and she meets Ethan, her current boyfriend,
is this
and
SpongeBob?
yes, and you can tell in the Eternal. Did you ever listen to Eternal Sunshine? Did you have a chance?
No.
Okay. Well, in the first song, an intro, she pretty much tells you what happened. She says exactly what I said. Her and Dalton are growing apart. He might be seeing somebody else. She's feeling very emotionally distant from him. She meets she meets Ethan. She's spending a lot of time with Ethan. She notices that they have a connection. They have a connection that she should be having with her husband. She breaks up with her husband basically and basically realizes that they're not supposed to be together. And at the same time, Ethan, I think we don't really know.
These are the homewrecker allegations.
Yes. Ethan Ethan is separately with his wife and baby. And we don't really know his side because I mean he's not really that famous. Like I don't think he's had a chance to clear the air. But there was a Daily Mail article that came out that said that they had quotes from his wife. And basically they had quotes saying that she was not a girl's girl and that she didn't know that Ariana and him were dating until blah 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 blah. That article has since been proven to be not true by the woman in the article. She's literally said she did not say that. She did know, and that all of the news reporting before that came out about it was fabricated and like not true. And that's coming from the wife of Ethan. But nobody heard that part. Everybody ran with she broke up this marriage.
Maybe nobody believed that part.
And that's fair. But either way, I find it hard to believe that Ariana Grande would be a mistress to someone, like an actual like I think it's like Ethan on his own was probably already having issues with this woman. And then him and Ariana are like bonding and he cuts it off with her before anything can happen with Ariana. Like, I just don't understand. If I'm Ariana Grande, why would I become a mistress when I'm the most famous freaking person in Wicked, probably? And also, I am spending so much time with people every single day. You know how it is when you're in a fucking theater production. Times that by a million for a movie set. There are so many things. People could just be recording her flirting with this man. People could be recording them together. Like, there are so many opportunities for people to
Break up
uncover
with
this.
your girlfriend, 'cause I'm bored. You
That's
can
another
get it
part
in
of
the
it
money.
too. Even if she was overtly like, no, I'm the mistress. I need y'all to understand something. I don't care.
I think it's cunt.
Me too.
If
Because
she
what do you
just
mean? If
said
I
that,
was,
yeah, I took your man, and what you gonna do, bitch?
that's what I was gonna say. I feel like if she did that, she would just say that. But I think
I don't think she would say that, but I think it's iconic that that's what I
I
believe
think
she
she
would do.
wouldn't be so public that it didn't happen. I think she would be more so like, "This is my life, and I wish people didn't ask me about that," versus being like, "That is just not true." You know what I'm saying? Like, I can tell that it bothers her and the people around her because that's just not the truth. And I think I've seen a lot of things like this happen with celebrities and stuff, and there's a way that they will talk about it if it wasn't true. Like, I don't know. I just, not even because I like her, I don't think that that's the truth. I just never thought that was true because it doesn't really make sense to me. That's my personal
Sound
opinion.
off in the comments, guys. What do you think?
That's my personal opinion. I think other people are like, "Well, she has a history of doing this." And I'm like, even if that is true, that does not mean that this particular one is what happened. Like, Bowen Yang damn near screamed his head off on his own damn podcast, being
Let
like,
me let
"That's
me
not
ask you a
true."
question. Let me ask you a question. What you think about Eternal Sunshine? Because we've been talking about fucking Ariana Grande for 51 goddamn minutes.
You're right. I love Eternal Sunshine. I have the album. I have the one that she's like for the because she had like different variants. I really like it. I think that as an album, objectively, I think it is actually really good. I think lyrically, there are stronger songs than others, but I think as an album in her discography, I do think it is an important album because I think that the cheating wife allegations were the worst of the misogyny. I think even worse than the Mac Miller thing. Um, but I think that personally, the only song that I come back to is "Eternal Sunshine," the song. Um, but that does not mean I really love "I Wish I Hated You." I just think it's really sad. Like, I just find it hard to come back to because I think the situation makes me sad.
Word. I'm not that familiar. I only know parts of the
Yes,
boy's
and
mind, and I don't like Yes and. So
the more I listen to the remix, I do like it, but I did write an entire newsletter about how I didn't like it. But I think it's just like a weird, like, on the album it stands out because like it's like the only like, well, no, because Boy Bye is a very like show tunes esque song, but lyrically I find it kind of flat. But I think she thinks it's her best album right now because she's in the middle of it happening. But I don't know if that's true. I think I'm happy for her that she made this album. I can tell she really needed to make this album. She even said that she wasn't planning on coming back to music until after the second Wicked movie, but like she just was feeling so inspired that she called Max Martin and they got in the studio for like I think it was 3 months. Um which tells me like okay, no, like cuz she had a really bad relationship to music. I mean, I can understand why. After Thank You Next.
word.
So, yeah, that's Aryanka. We did spend a lot of time, but we did that the last time too. That's one of my mothers. Come correct when you talk about her because trust me, I do my research. Okay, and you not gonna out argue me about Ariana Grande. Like, let's just call it a spade. So yeah, sound off in the comments how you feel about her favorite eras, her favorite looks, funny moments. We didn't even get into the Christmas of it all, but whatever. She's Mariah Jr.
No, I've never seen that. I've never seen that for her. But I love Ariana Grande, but she's not Mariah Carey.
Sing like the little black white girl you are.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally the entire thesis of her career. Like, I personally I loved when she was black. Yeah, but we know this. So yeah, okay. We need to move on. Stream Marianko.
There we go. God bless. So this is now 6 songs for the airport. Every week, 6 songs for. We get 6 songs for a different prompt, different situations, and we make a playlist out of them. And this week, we're making 6 songs for the airport. Now, would you like to go first? Would you like me to go first? What would you like?
I can go first.
Okay.
The airport, the airport, the airport, the airport. The first song is Apple by Charlie XCX. Duh.
The fuck?
You don't know that song?
No, I don't. It was the transition from the original song to Apple by Charlie XCX, and then
That
Duh.
is the song.
I don't
That's
under-
from Apple.
the airport.
Yes. Oh my god. Okay.
Oh, I guess I
So
don't. I don't listen.
so I'm really glad that you said that because Apple was from the jump. First listen, my favorite song. And the Brooklyn Paramount show, when I was waiting, we were waiting in line to go inside, which is the same day the album came out, June 12th, I think. All I was doing in the line, I just was like, the airport. Because literally this song, she goes, feels like you never understand me, so I just want to drive to the airport, the airport, the
Um,
airport, the airport. It's like,
I was not aware.
the thing is this song is so good, and immediately, like, I hate to be like but I did, like, I literally, this was my favorite song, and everyone was like, I don't know, it stands out the most on the album. It's literally just like a random song about generational trauma, and I live for that. And like, I always listen to albums with the lyrics up. So like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, so from the first listen, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a track about her family. That's wild. She never talks about her family. um but of course, the Apple Dance happened probably like a month after that. And now it's probably, I would say, arguably one of the most famous songs from Brad, I would say, just for TikTok alone. But then I would, other than that, I would say 360 probably.
I'd agree.
I knew once I heard it that I would never be able to go to an airport without listening to it. Um, and so that was the first song I thought of when we did the airport, because the airport, the airport,
Word.
the airport, the airport. And people thought she was saying the apple, which I guess I could see, but y'all need to start looking at the lyrics.
I'm screaming. There's a song that I always play every time the plane is taking off. Like I will be putting our bags. Our bags will be in the overhead compartments. The mask, put it on yourself. Before that, I'll play this song. And if the climax of this song does not line up to us taking off, I'm restarting the song and listening to it again until we get to where we get to the key change, and the key change is with the takeoff. This
Yeah, I'm not
song
doing it.
is Fly Like a Bird by Mariah Carey.
Oh wow.
Um, ever since I've began flying on planes after like age 18, I guess, like when I wasn't living in Nashville. Yeah, so like ever since then, like this has been
Hmm.
my airplane takeoff song. If if this shit is not lined up, we could be sitting, stopping, like ready to go, and I have it at the beginning, and we're taking off. I'm speeding. I'm going forward to the climax so we can like
Exactly.
it's been a tradition. It's a long-standing
That's a really good
tradition,
one.
and it's not a tradition that I'm willing to break because
Period.
Lord, I need your help to carry me higher. Please don't let the world break me tonight. Literally me on this airplane, like, girl, I can't. Come on now.
No, that's real. I actually do the same exact thing for my song that I'm gonna say after this. Like going back and like making sure it lines up, because you need something to like regulate your nervous system, because like planes are scary, right? Like, I'm not scared of flying, but like every so often I'll be like, would be crazy if we crashed. But That's a really good song choice. That's a really, really good song choice.
It's my favorite song officially.
Yeah, that's a really, really good one. So my song is similar, like it's my takeoff song, and it has been for years. Welcome to Wolf Records. It just it has such a whimsical feel, and first of all, it's the first song on Thrill of the Arts, and it really just sets the tone. And I feel like it has same sort of thing where like there's a climax that happens, and it's timed. Like if you start it like when they say to put your seatbelts on, I think, or like when they no when they get the clearance to go to the place to fly, um, usually it syncs up. And I do remember I forgot about this until I was literally writing this down. I tweeted them Wolfpack that I did that, and they were like, "Period," or they didn't say period, but they were just like they acknowledged it.
Right.
There's no words in this song, so I can't really say much about it, but you'd have to listen to it.
Okay, word. My next song is by one of my favorite brands. Actually, this is another instrumental song from another largely instrumental band. Only three pieces when you listen to any of their music, and keep in mind that there are only three fucking people at a time playing songs. Like it's kind of crazy how advanced they are. But this second song of mine is A Love International by Khruangbin. So Khruangbin is spelled funky, but it is a Thai word for airplane, or like a,
Hmm.
it's I believe it's Thai for airplane. The entire vibe of all of their music, it's mostly instrumental funky music. um the it's a drummer, a bass player, and a guitarist, and sometimes they have slight vocals like in the background, but it's never really like the forefront is always the music. They just make jet setter fucking music. Like this is just music that you open the window and just look down at the sky and you're like, I am here. Like it is a vibe like no other. All of their music is insane. But also this song being a love international, international flights. And it also it really feels like you're flying. There are some great key changes like in places that you don't expect. All three of them are fucking basically virtuosos. So like the bass, the
Huh.
guitar, all of it is like perfect. So this is just a song I love to play. I love listening to Khruangbin on planes, and that is my second song. If you haven't heard of them, give it a shot. That's my second
Yeah, I
song.
don't think I've heard of it.
Yeah,
I don't.
honestly, because there aren't, if there are songs that you know of theirs, there you might not know any words, because like I said, most of their words like are not
Mhm.
they're not in the foreground.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Period. Well,
Like
I
one
love
of
that
their
we both
songs, they're
look.
literally like yes, like that's the only lyrics is like they're like yes.
Love that. Yes, Lord, for the
I'm
rest of
screaming.
our lives, and we will be. Okay, so I love that we both picked songs without words for that one. That's cool.
Yeah,
Because the airport is such a. There's a lot of sounds happening. Sometimes you just need the instruments to take you there.
yeah, you gotta
So
lock
my
in.
last song, I'm actually so glad I thought about this. I would have been really mad if I didn't put this on here. Um, my next song is "Mary Boone" by Vampire Weekend, which I know you have not heard. Oh,
Yeah,
have you heard?
I have not heard this one.
Oh, I actually implore you. I think you need to listen to it. It's important.
Okay,
Just listen to.
it's important.
I would say the first like 15 seconds of the beginning, and then skip to like
I can get to the chorus. I can listen to it through
no,
the
because the
chorus.
best part is the end.
The best part of it is the end. What album is it
I
on?
would actually skip to like the middle of the song and then listen from there because it's kind of the same thing. This song is from the latest Vampire Weekend album, Only God Was Above Us. I will be seeing them. They're coming the 5th and the 6th. Have not bought my tickets, but I will be there. Know that. And it's annoying because I think I have to go to both days because they're playing different songs from both of the days. And they said they're not going to repeat any songs except for A Punk, which pisses me off. Because that means I have to go to both. Because if they play Mary Boone at one show and I don't hear it at the, like, I'll literally stop standing. Anyway, so this song stood out to me on this album. Well, I think because none of the songs sound like this. But I'm curious, how did you feel about it?
I was like, I didn't understand the connection to airports at all.
Okay, that's not what I asked. How did you feel about the song? Like, did you like it?
Not really.
Okay, that's fine. So,
Yeah.
personally, this song feels very like reflective, like meaning like reflecting on your life, and it just makes me feel that way. And the song is about this woman named Mary Boone who was an art dealer in the 80s, and she like sold like I guess like grungy art that was like very important to like the New York scene. And one thing about Vampire Weekend, like their whole MO is like making songs and like albums about New York. And so she recently got she's in prison for tax fraud. I'm pretty sure the idea of this song is about like this sort of nostalgic figure literally being like locked up and like symbolizing the end of like an era for New York slash a generation of people. I'm assuming that Ezra is the generation of people that is feeling this. But like it was apparently just like it's like about like the end of like the grungy New York days. And like I feel like at airports always make me nostalgic. I don't know why. I did not fly on a lot of planes when I was a kid, but every time I'm at an airport, I just feel uh the need to reflect on my entire life. It is very weird. And so I picked this song because that makes me feel like airport. And I also think I've never been on a plane listening to this song because it came out like sometime this year, but I will be listening to this song on an airplane. And I just feel like it would be a good plane to listen to, maybe even when it takes off, or just to look out the window and reflect on your life.
Slay. Slay. My final song is actually a song in which this person is reflecting over their life and
Wow.
their travels. Yeah, literally. So I'm just gonna say the song. The song is "Amelia" by Joni Mitchell.
Oh, wow.
This is from her, I believe, 1979 album Hejira, which is, I forgot what language it is, but it's um, the idea. It boils down to the idea of like a long, lifelong sort of journey. And as I understand it, this entire album she wrote inspired by her travels across across the world. Like she was just
Hmm.
the entire concept for this album is about traveling. So on this album in particular, it seems like she, as a songwriter or as a character in this song, is speaking directly to Amelia Earhart. And it's like filled with plain imagery. And she's basically saying that I've done all these things, I've lived this full life, I've traveled all across the world, and there's a line that she says it's like my life feels like a postcard or something. Like she's comparing how looking down at like the small farms and small things and feeling so disconnected from that feels how she feels with the people and the things and relationships in her own life. And she's saying that Amelia, the guy that loved me, it was just a false alarm. All the things that I've done, it was just a false alarm. So I think that number one, it's a very interesting song to be like speaking to somebody, or like
Hmm.
there's a refrain of Amelia. It was just a false alarm. Like she's talking to Amelia Earhart. And in terms of sound, it's just like Joni Mitchell's guitar. During this period, she was working with Jaco Pastorius, who, if you know Rain by SWV, the sample, that original song, that he did all of that,
Hmm.
very famous jazz bassist and like the Weather Report and stuff.
Oh,
So
wow.
around this time, her sound was really, I won't say dark, but it definitely felt heavy and weathered and traveled. And there's these like beautiful like guitar slides, and I've literally listened to this entire album on a plane.
Hmm.
An incredible experience, but this song in particular I feel is just so beautiful, about just a star who's looking back at their life and being like, you know what, I I feel so above everything. And also this song coming from the same person who wrote both sides now, which I've also could have almost chose as a
Hmm.
as a song. Joni Mitchell is a songwriter beyond comparison, and
Mhm.
This was like her last album that was in a string of just like commercially and more so critically successful albums, and like she ended this so-called streak on such a high note because the whole idea of traveling and reassessing your life is something that I feel, at least and I feel like everybody sort of comes to at the airport is like, what if I die? What if there is like a bomb threat? What am I doing? Where am I going? There's just always a feeling of questioning, and this song I feel perfectly distills that. So that's my final song, Amelia by Joni Mitchell.
I love that choice. I have not heard that song, but I do love Joni Mitchell, and that is so interesting. I feel like our songs were like almost inspired by the similar things.
And
So that's cool.
you want to run through the
But
room?
yeah.
Let's run through 'em.
Okay, first song Apple by Charlie XCX.
Next is Fly Like a Bird by Mariah Carey,
Then it was Welcome to Wolf Records by Wolfpack.
followed by A Love International by Khruangbin.
And finally Mary Boone by Vampire Weekend.
Word. That's the songs. The playlists are in the description as always. Let us know what songs you always listen to when you're in the airport and what songs you would add to this playlist.
Yeah.
And let's move on to the
And
next segment.
questions for queers, baby. So my question actually, do you have a question?
What are you willing to do? What?
Right, right,
Right,
right,
right,
right.
right, right.
I was gonna say, what is your like airport routine? Because I'm sure you've flown alone,
Oh,
right?
several times. Yeah, babe.
Yeah. And so like I do like the same thing every time.
Well, no shade. I'm never not high in the airport. So step one is
Oh
edible.
yeah.
Step one is
Yeah.
edible because you gotta make sure that you take it. You can't. Yeah, you gotta time
Yeah.
it correctly.
Yeah.
And then number two, you got to get that. You got to get whatever. You got to get an album that you know is gonna last you for about an hour. You cannot be pulling out your phone. You cannot be trying to skip songs and no bullshit. Usually I like to travel. If I can help it, I like to travel in Birkenstocks and socks,
Please.
so that if they say take off your shoes, I am still protected. But like I'm not. The whole homosexual rigmarole of just like untying your shoes in like a public place and like retying your shoes is just like a nightmare. So I
I
always
can't.
try to have like some uncle shoes or some sandals like I got on now, and I basically punch it. Like I am not interested in talking to nobody. I don't even buy food usually if I can't help it. Just
Wow.
because not until I've arrived at my gate, looked at it, and sat down. Once I've arrived to my gate, at that point, if I'm hungry, if I need to use the bathroom, I'll go and do that. But once we're past TSA, there is no lollygagging, there's no nothing until we see gate 18, gate 43. We're not doing shit else.
What time do you get to the airport? Like how much time beforehand?
What time is my flight?
Let's say your flight is at 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Yeah.
I'm getting to the airport hopefully between 4 and 4:30. So like
Yeah.
4:15ish is when I'm aiming for, just in case there are any extreme delays, but I hate just sitting in an airport. And I feel like if you got your shit together, there's no reason that you need to be in the airport necessarily any longer than like 2 hours and 30 minutes ahead of time. But I've never had any horror stories. But I also don't
Yeah.
have issues looking around in the airport to like self direction for me. Every
Mhm.
airport that I've flown out of has been relatively easy to navigate. So for me, I don't have the logistical issues of, oh my god, my fucking kids are gonna be running around. Oh
Mm.
my god, my goddamn man is a fucking idiot. I gotta make sure that you know what I'm saying. With
Yeah.
me, no more than two
Yeah.
hours.
Flying alone is so much. Oh my
It's
god.
the boy. It's the way.
Yeah. Um, I get there. I would say the same. I think I try to do 2 hours, but I feel like it always ends up being like an hour and 30 minutes. I also don't like necessarily waiting in the airport, but I do kind of love airports. Like, I don't know what it is. I like to window shop, so I just like to look at things.
Right.
But especially like the like LaGuardia, the glow up babes, the fucking fountain thing. But no, when I'm in an airport, I'm bringing a book. I'm not reading it, but I always bring a book.
Word.
And I the thing is, I kind of do like sitting there, like waiting for the thing. Like I get a lot of shit done. I feel like when I'm there, like I feel for some reason I feel very productive in airports. Like I'm
That's
always
real.
like,
There's
I'm
nothing
gonna
else
just
to
sit
do
here.
except for
Yeah,
wait for your flight, so you might as well do something.
I only recently like ate at one of the restaurants. Actually, like I never ever did that. Like the restaurants, like not like just getting food, like the sit down because I had like a long time, and that was really interesting. The food was not good, but I did do that.
Let me
Um,
tell you something. So, you know the edible I talked about earlier?
yeah.
Um, one time I forgot which direction it was, but I know I was going to see you in New York, but I forgot what time it was. But took an edible. I think I had a layover in Atlanta or something. And I decided to get me a whiskey ginger, and then some said, "Make it, make it a double."
Girl, what?
Yeah, and I still got there, but I definitely, got real comfortable in that seat on my phone, giggling. So I would say one substance at a time, or very light doses of both substances, because I was definitely like scooting through that airport like I had somewhere to be. Like it wasn't a walk. It wasn't quite a jog or a run. And it wasn't like a power walk, but it was like a cute little scoot. You know what I'm saying? I had to scoot on through.
Oh my god. If I'm
So
at an airport, I will
crossfaded
do
at the airport, not the T. But
period.
also it was kind of the most fun I've ever had in the airport. But
No, airports are kind of fun. Like
okay.
they're not fun. Like when you have money, I mean, I'm not buying a lot of things, read between the lines, but I'm also like with the things that I am buying, I am it's carefully curated.
Yeah.
My weird okay, what's your airport snack? My airport snack is really weird.
I don't know.
I always get the cheddar bugles. I don't know why.
I don't know if I have an airport snack. I will say that one time I was flying United on like the actual like things that they give you, they had some motherfucking, they called them bitches maple wafer cookies. And they were like these little fucking small discs of cookie. And I've never seen them before or since. But I think about that fucking little blue goddamn bag all
Whoa.
the time. Them shits
The
is fire.
who has the biscotti? Is it
It
the Delta?
yeah, I don't know, but that's who is it American? It might be American who has
Whoever got the biscotti,
the
y'all ate.
Biscoff baby.
Yeah.
I gets ready for that.
Yeah. I'm not afraid of the pretzels. I don't really want the pretzels, okay?
I like the pretzel. It made me feel full because
No.
I normally haven't
Sure.
eaten.
But I think it's Southwest. One of them has the, party mix. There's, like, the cheddar, and it has the Cheez-Its. It's like Chex Mix, basically,
Oh
but it's like party
no,
mix. Um, what's your drink? And that'll be the last question because everyone has their favorite drink on the flight. I always get, cran apple
I feel
or
like I
cranberry.
usually get like a Sprite. I feel like I'm a Sprite girly.
Mm. The ginger ale is tea, though. Everyone always talks about the ginger ale on the flight. Yeah, I don't do that, but I've done it before.
I
Um,
have a friend who's a flight attendant, and they tweeted they were like, "You niggas do not drink this much fucking ginger ale at the goddamn house." Every every time that you're in the airport, you want some fucking ginger ale on the flight, and be mad when I don't have it. It's like you
because
don't drink.
everybody wanted it.
Yeah, you don't drink ginger ale at the house.
That's so funny. No, I'm a cran apple girl.
Right.
But I'm about to go on a flight soon, and I feel like I probably will do cran apple, but I've been in like a Coke kick. I'm getting back into soda in a really bad way.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way. I have like one soda and then I'll only drink water for the rest of the day.
Yeah, because I'm normally like a lemonade stand. Like
Yeah.
lemonade's been one of my favorite drinks forever. But
I mean,
like
same. They don't have it on an airplane.
Sprite has been pulling me together recently. I don't know, like a good Sprite.
Sometimes you just need a little kick. Sometimes you
Sometimes
just
you
need a little kick.
do.
And I don't like sparkling lemonade.
No, girl, that's not lemonade. That's bullshit.
Period. But yeah, that's my tea, and I'm usually asleep. I do not. I don't. Maybe it's just automobiles. I'm like one of those babies. Like I do the
I mean,
rumbling. I literally will be asleep. Like I can fall asleep in a good 20 minutes on an airplane, if not sooner.
I don't think I've ever fallen asleep on an airplane, so I usually will try to like listen to or make music on my phone, or if they have like a movie thing. I'll
Mhm.
try to I will say I'll try to have like a movie downloaded onto my phone in
Mhm.
case I get like
Yeah. Yeah. No, you have to have something to do. I
yeah.
usually they're like once a blue moon I won't be able to sleep. Maybe it's like in the middle of the day or something. No, that's not true. I don't know. Sometimes I can't sleep and I'll just like listen to music and like play games on my phone. But you know what? At my big age, I'm buying the Wi-Fi. That's crazy.
Oh wow. That's kind of
Mhm.
I don't think I'm
Having
that
to work on a plane
I don't think
is the worst.
I'm not that grown.
Oh, no, when I took my first work trip and I had to work on that plane, awful.
Girl, bitch. No.
That was awful.
let me tell you something.
It's 8 in the morning. It's 7 in the morning, but I have to act like I have to work because it's 3 hours behind. So in New York, it's 9 o'clock. Literally, no.
I'm screaming. After traveling, which traveling itself, like getting on the plane and doing all the shit, like it's like a feat. Like it's like physically like a lot.
Mhm. And then you have to sit down and you don't get to just relax. You have to work. No.
You want a hot body?
You want a Maserati, bitch. That's fine.
Well, that was 6 songs for guys.
We really just went on a whole tangent of that. That's so funny.
That was 6 songs for. Thank you as always for listening. Playlists and everything are in the description. And I just want to let you guys know that my titties are fat, my stomach is flat, and I'm the baddest bitch. I'm the Puerto Rican princess. I'm the baddest bitch.
And I want to let you know that I hope this pimple is gone the next time you see me.
Word. All right, bye guys.
Songs for. Songs for. Songs for.